I'm in the Who Needs Me club. I'm a high risk, low reward. I feel like I'm a promoter's dream and like a promoter's nightmare, you know what I mean? Like, for a promoter's dream, I believe I'm a future world champion. I generally believe I've got the ability to go all the way. Your body's like a temple when you're an athlete, you know what I mean? So when you're putting poison in your body, you don't agree with you know what I mean? You shouldn't be doing it. So then I just knocked her on the head, and to be honest, it's the best thing I've ever done. I mean, yeah, I swear, like, I like to get in there, I hit to hurt, you know what I mean? I want to take people out. It's funny because when I first come to Shiny, my record was 6-0, 2 knockouts. Okay. Then when we come back, all my fights, bar my last one, we stopped everyone.
What made you decide to not retire?
I generally do believe I can go all the way, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be one of them people when I'm 40 sitting there thinking, fuck, why did I not do that? Why did I not try, you know what I mean? Like, why did I give up? Like, I should have kept going, you know what I mean?
Okay, so today on the podcast, I have somebody who is without a doubt the most avoided fighter in the UK at the moment. He's had 12 fights, 12 wins and 7 knockouts. Elliot Whale, welcome to Below the Belt podcast, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me. I feel like we've tried to get this for ages now, haven't we? You know what I mean? So finally we get to sit down and have a chat. And
we have, mate. Yeah, I think we've been messaging back and forth
for
about
ages.
Probably about almost a year.
It's got to be,
right?
you know what I mean? But obviously it's hard to fit it in. But then I just thought, you know what? Tuesdays is quite I can get it done a little bit earlier, you know what I mean? So I thought we'd better get it done, and here we are.
Yeah, you're a busy man, mate. Obviously, we just spoke before the podcast. Obviously, you live in Kent, but you travel down to Birmingham to train with Shiny, who's obviously been on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
So you stay weeks at a time, essentially, right? For training camps, and do you also stay outside of training camps?
Yeah, I do stay outside of training camps. This time we've started doing like 2 nights a week. So obviously I come in on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I go home. Now, when it's full-time camp, I do a Thursday and come back, and I'm back for the weekends, obviously at home, back in Kent, and then I come back on a Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I just introduced you as one of the most avoided fighters in the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think I genuinely mean that. Obviously, I've seen you box. You've got a good pedigree, I think, as an amateur as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've got a great record in the pros already with 12 fights, 12 wins, 7 knockouts. If I'm not mistaken, you just had another fight cancelled not long ago, right?
Yeah.
Which must have been, again, devastating for you. But tell me what happened there, if you're able to.
Yeah. Well, obviously, this is the first show with BBC. So, again, this is what I say, I was doing 2 nights a week. And then about 7 weeks to go before... No, about 10 weeks to go before the fight, they say, look, this is the date. You're probably going to fight on it. They didn't confirm it, but they said, you get ready for this fight, blah, blah, blah. This is the date you're on. So then we started doing full time. I was in camp for 7 weeks. They just announced a show late. They must have announced a show. It's the Fraser Clark TKV show. They announced it with like 4.5 weeks to go. As soon as they announced the show and they hadn't had me an opponent, I just sort of knew that I'm not going to get a fight because it's not enough time, you know what I mean? Time was ticking, and then about less than 3 weeks to go, they had to pull me off the show, because they just couldn't get me. They couldn't get me a fight. They asked loads. Apparently, they asked loads of domestic fights. Some big names, some a little bit less of a big name. You know what I mean? Just couldn't.
Were there any potential names that were close? So, say for example, the bigger names that you just mentioned.
No, they did. I think. Well, from what I heard, they asked Harry Scarf, but he's injured or something like that, so couldn't make it. That was quite a quick turnaround to say like. He's injured, so it weren't like it wasn't like any potential fight there. I think Tyrone McKenna is another one, but I'm not sure if they offered the I don't know what the money is and things like that. So
I think if I'm being honest, I'm putting myself in their shoes. I think to take you on 4 weeks' notice for anybody, I think they'd be very hesitant, right?
Yeah,
I think for yourself, who they know is a quality operator, that they're going to want to.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is why I knew as soon as the show got announced, there weren't enough times really to get me on it. And for me, like, I wish I just got told straight away, like, you're not going to be on this one.
It's the hope that kills you.
Yes, the hope. And obviously, we done 7 weeks full time, and when I took off the show, it's 7 weeks. Not wasted because I'm always learning and improving in the gym, but it's wasted from time for my family.
Yeah,
but I could have been at home with my kids, you know what I mean, and doing stuff, and even little things, like, you know, when you got your missus and holidays and things like that. It's not just me; it's every boxer. You can't book a holiday. You can't. You don't know what. And then
life revolves.
Yeah, it revolves around boxing, and you can't. You can only book when you've had your fight, because then you know, right, I can have at least a couple of weeks off or whatever. So then, really, when you do a little camp and then you get pulled off the show, we could have gone on holiday. I could have took my kids away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I can't because I'm back here now, hopefully fighting again on the next show. So that they haven't obviously announced yet, but hopefully that gets announced soon and we get a new date. But this is what I'm saying. It's the life of a boxer, mate.
I was devastated for you when I saw you announce that you were pulled from the show. And just for those who don't know, who are watching the podcast, you're sponsored by Boxer and Ben Shalom, right? You signed a contract with those guys.
Yeah,
right?
They're not my sponsors. They're just not sponsors. Yeah, that's who I just fight under. Yeah. They promote me. Yeah, that's my promotional thing. Obviously, when I first signed with them, there was with Sky, and then a couple of months after my last fight, that deal ended, and they've got a new deal with BBC, which I think's a great deal. To be honest, I think it's good to bring boxing back to like primetime TV.
Yeah, it's quite nostalgic, I think.
Yeah, I think it's quite good. I think obviously he gets a lot of stick, you know what I mean? He does online.
He's a new kid on the block, isn't he? So to speak. So when you got the likes of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren there, they're not going to like that.
Nah, and I feel like he gets a lot of stick, but
he holds his own.
I do think he does. He does, and I think BBC's a good platform, and I think it's a really good platform, and even for myself. So say I'm not on the main card, I think you get 2 fights on the main card. I might be wrong, but 2. But then you're on BBC iPlayer. Whereas for me, I'm on YouTube. If I'm not on the main card on Sky, I'm on YouTube. So BBC iPlayer is probably an upgrade to YouTube. So I think it's quite a good platform, and hopefully we just get the fights to get my name out there a bit more and get involved in some big fights.
And how long has it been since your last competitive fight now?
My last fight was April. So that's what's that? 7 months, 8 months, 7-8 months now.
And ideally, you want to be fighting about 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, right? I'm scheduled to fight 3 fights in a year. I think my contract was in March, so we had one in April. It'll be hopefully if we can get out of by the end of this year.
Is there a potential to be out before the end of this year?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm back now full time. Obviously, I don't know the dates confirmed, but hopefully December time. Yeah. So.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that I think that was the main thing that I wanted to talk about on this podcast, and I think people will be really interested to know the business and the politics side of boxing, especially the casual fans, because somebody would look at you as promoted by Ben Shalom. You've got a undefeated record, 7 knockouts as well. Great pedigree as an amateur. They think you've got it made, and it's just plain sailing from here, and the fights are going to come to you. But it's quite the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I just want to help the viewers understand why it's sometimes not always straightforward, and what can possibly be done to help, and perhaps people getting behind you a bit more, right? And understanding that you can get to the top, but you just need just like everybody does. I think they need a bit of help, right?
Yeah, a bit of help, but a little bit of luck, maybe. You know what I mean?
So why would you say then it's proven to be so difficult for yourself? Why are you being avoided? And I know you're quite humble. You're saying it's not out of fear, and I'm sure like with boxers that they don't have fear, but at the same time, if they're going to take a fight against you, they know you're going to be a hell of a tough
I'm a handful. You know what I mean?
Competitor,
I'm a hard
so they're
going to
want
anyone.
a fair bit of dosh to get in there.
Well, this is why I'll tell you what it is. It's because I'm in the Who Needs Me club. I'm a high risk, low reward. I feel like I'm a promoter's dream and like a promoter's nightmare. You know what I mean? Like for a promoter's dream, I believe I'm a future world champion. I generally believe I've got the ability to go all the way. I believe I can fight. You know what I mean? I can box, and I do believe in my skills. The negative side of things is I'm probably not the best in front of the camera. I'm getting better, but I'm probably not the best on social media, things like that. You know what I mean? Like, and as a professional, it's a business, so all these things sort of go into one. You know what I mean?
It must be really frustrating though, like you said, because really that's got nothing to do with
boxing. Nah, of course not.
Historically, it hasn't been, right? Nah. It's a case of you perform in the ring, you get to where you need to
100%,
be. But now it's such a business.
It is. It's a big thing. It's to sell yourself, really. That's what it is. That's like half the battle. That's why you see a lot of kids or men that turn pro. They're very good on the mic. They're very good Instagram. So then they'll get signed. They'll fight a few journeymen, look $1 million, and as soon as they step up, they get done because they haven't got the boxing ability, but they've got the talk, so they could probably earn some decent dough quick. But it's fast money, not like a I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a gradual thing. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, while your stock is high with people thinking, and the hype
Yeah,
is there
yeah, the hype's there,
before
yeah.
you've really faced anyone.
Done anything,
People will be
yeah.
paying for tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
But then sooner or later, you're going to have to step up through the levels. And I think that's where a few young lads get caught.
Yeah, they
But
get done,
obviously,
yeah. But
with yourself, I know with the contestants you've already faced.
Yeah.
Tetley amongst a few others, which we'll come on to talk about, that you obviously haven't got that fear, right?
Nah.
You've got complete trust in your ability. But just on that kind of marketing and social media side, because I'm so itching for you to get these big fights,
Yeah.
is there anything that can be done on that side of things? Have you? Is there help you could seek on that front?
I think so. I think there's
Yeah.
people that can run your account and things like that, and then you can
you can concentrate on the boxing.
yeah, concentrate
right?
on the boxing and let people do my account. But I don't know, man. I just find the whole thing cringy. You know what I mean? Like, I find it really cringy. Like,
Shall I be honest with you, mate? And this is me talking from a bit of experience. I used to not be a big fan of social media. I didn't see the purpose
Yeah.
behind it or whatever. And obviously with yourself, there is a purpose, because with regards to getting your name out. And do you know what? It was the main reason I started this podcast. You
Really,
know?
yeah.
I was so uncomfortable talking in front of a camera,
Yeah.
talking in public, presenting in public.
Yeah, yeah.
But my job that I have outside of this really required it on a
Yeah.
regular basis. And I was sick of being shit
Yeah.
at talking.
Yeah, yeah,
so I
yeah.
thought, you know what? Let me merge.
let me get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
do
let me
this.
get out of
yeah.
my comfort zone. And slowly, it's that I started to not take things as seriously.
Serious, yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen, and again, I'm not telling you to do what I do on
your Instagram, I've seen it.
So
I've
I'm
seen
not
it.
telling you to
No,
do
no,
any of
fair
that.
play. You know what I mean? But I just know, like in my head, yeah, I know if I start doing this,
I'll
I'm
get you
getting
in mind.
hammered, man. My friends are gonna hammer me.
But this was it. And it's completely true. When I first started doing that, because we did it for a bit of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
This is obviously doing these little skits on social media. I knew that I was going to be judged a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
even in my culture,
Yeah.
it's quite like a bit like, well, what's
Yeah,
he
frowned
doing?
upon a bit, yeah.
Yeah, some people, and mainly strangers, have been so supportive.
Really,
even
yeah.
like even friends as well,
Yeah.
very supportive, and some family members. But some people have, you really see who's close to you and who's not. Because some people, even in that instance, yeah, I'd be laughed at by some
Yeah.
people. People go off and weird with
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
passive
yeah.
aggressive. But to be fair, we enjoy it. We don't take it too seriously.
Nah.
We do it for a bit of a laugh. I've got different sides to my personality, kind of thing. So I guess the only thing I'd say to you is just, probably don't take it
Yeah,
too
don't take
seriously.
it. I think he's right. I think
And
that's
it's
what
not
I
that
need
you
to do.
need to
No,
do anything
yeah, not nothing
comedic
silly,
or
but
anything,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. But I do feel like I probably look at it a bit too much, or just think because it's not really me as a person. I'm sort of happy not to do it, but I should
Yeah.
probably get out of my comfort zone and do stuff. Like I done a video announcing that I'm not on the show and things
I
like
thought
that.
that was a really good video.
Well, this
You
is
spoke
yeah,
so
this
well.
is what I think. So like, I feel like because I've actually been through, like my career's been so up and down, and what I've been through and what I sacrificed is real.
Yeah.
So when I talk about it, it comes across well, and it's not
passion-
fake.
the
Do you know what I
passion
mean?
came out so much, mate,
And I feel like I got a lot of support from that video. Loads of people were like a bit amazed that I would do something like that and come across so well. You know what I mean? So I do think I'm getting better, but
I think you're just underestimating yourself. I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes that's where, like, you know, when you don't want to do something, but you just got to push yourself.
Yeah,
and
you
do
just
it
gotta
anyway.
do it, yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. But
Yeah.
I think just keep doing it. Because like I said to you even earlier on in the podcast, I was like, I felt devastated for you, and the reason I did is I could tell the authenticity of
Yeah.
you talking in that video, that it really had. It hit
It's-
you
it's
hard.
annoying, yeah, you know what I mean?
But
It's-
you
yeah.
knew you had to keep plucking
Yeah.
on and going forward and wait for that next opportunity. So, yeah, I definitely. Do you know what? I always think about this for boxers, because I always like to think, what can boxers? Because I know it's a problem for
Yeah.
a lot of boxers, not just
Yeah.
yourself, in terms of the marketing. Like, what can they do? What can they do to, whether it be on social media and get their name out there? Because a lot of the time, boxers aren't going to want to do all these little
Nah, of
skits
course
and
not.
stuff,
Nah,
right?
nah.
So, is there anything else social media wise? But I guess the main thing is just getting as much footage of your
Training and doing
a
stuff.
day in the life.
Yeah,
of
doing
like,
things like that,
I
mate.
think people would be
yeah,
intrigued
I
in
think
like
maybe I should give it a go. You know what I mean? Just to give. It also gives the viewers, like, especially when we talk about like say what I'm going through, sacrifices, just everything. What obviously all fighters go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because it's real, people get on board with it. You know what I mean? So maybe I should start doing.
Definitely.
a bit
Do you know
more
what?
things.
I think we're going quite off topic here, but I think, it'd be really interesting to see, kind of like, obviously you live in Kent.
Yeah.
Be good to see a day in the life there, kind of what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing,
what I
and
do,
you
yeah.
recording yourself coming down to
People will know why I come
training.
down here, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Day in the life of my kids, they'll be like, fucking, no wonder he goes up there.
But I genuinely think people will be interested in the story, because I think if there's one thing that people like, is I think you're an underdog in some sense, that you've got all the talent,
Yeah.
but you just need somebody to take that
Yeah,
chance.
just
You just need that one fight, I
Yeah.
think, that one fight
Yeah,
that will give you
definitely.
that breakthrough.
100%.
And then I think things will start falling into place.
Because even the Darren Tetley fight, I feel like that was the fight which I thought was going to skyrocket my career, especially the way that it went. But I think because it was on a small show and it wasn't on a big TV thing, it didn't have the
didn't put your name out
yeah,
there
it didn't
as
put
much
as much what I
you
thought it
wanted
was going to. Then obviously he said a few nice words after in the ring, like when we were doing the interview after. He said some nice
I
things.
watched
Did
it.
you watch it?
Yeah,
He said some nice things, and I think that scares people off. You know what I mean?
I think it might well have, mate.
Yeah.
And just to tell people about that Darren Tetley fight, so obviously Darren Tetley was a very well established,
Yeah, he's a wicked fighter,
professional,
wicked
right?
fighter.
He knew the circuit, and obviously I had Shiny on the podcast before, and we spoke about that Darren Tetley fight, and I think he mentioned something about you guys kind of paid out your own pocket to take that fight or something
so
along those
when
lines.
you're on the
Again,
ticket,
just to get your name
just
out
to get
there.
your name out there. So when you're on the ticket deals, you obviously have to cover your opponent. You have to go 50-50 with the promoter. You have to sell enough tickets to pay for your opponent, and then obviously say you need at least $3,000, so it's 50-50 split, so they get 1,500 quid. Do you know what I mean? So you need to do a lot of tickets. It's hard. And I remember, like, I boxed. My first fight back was in October on the ticket deal. I done really well with tickets. It was good. And then not long after, we got the Darren Tetley fight, and that was in December.
Yeah.
And I thought, let's have it. Like, ticket deal, I don't care. Whatever he wants to get paid, pay it. So I think I'm going to do the tickets. And in the end, because it was Christmas, coming up to Christmas, I didn't do the tickets, so I had to pay out my own money. Like, I was down on that fight. Yeah, I didn't earn no money on that fight.
Again, sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. You know what I mean? Because I thought it was my career was gonna, after that, was gonna go up. It did a little bit. You know what I mean? It was a good win, a solid win, and it got people's eyes on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it was on TV, it would have. And he said them things on TV. Did it? You know what I mean? He would have been a lot better. Like what he said after, if he said that and it was on Sky or on Queen, like BT or whatever. You know what I mean? It would have.
How were you so confident to take that fight? Because you hadn't had many fights by
I
that
think
point.
that was my 7th fight or my 8th.
Yards,
he had. Do you know what? I'm just confident in my own ability. You know what I mean? And it's mad because when I'm on them small shows, like when I first started back, when I come back, I'm on them small. Like I don't want to sound like big-headed or disrespectful, but I feel like I'm levels above that, man. Do you know what I mean? I shouldn't be on them shows. And every one that I have on them shows, I'm like the only kid to stop anyone. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like I shouldn't be on these shows, man. I'm in my head, I'm a future world champion. I do generally believe that, and it's like I feel like I should be on the big time now. You know what I mean? So the Darren Tetley fight, I was just confident that I could beat him. I believe I can beat anyone, and that's it.
I remember Shiny was on the podcast, and he said, when the name came about, he said he was a bit hesitant, but he was like, Elliot was like, yeah, do it. Get me in with him. You were just 100% sure you'd beat him.
Of course, because obviously Shiny's thinking maybe business-wise, or he's a bit more cautious than I am, you know what I mean? It's good to have that, but like,
you got to take risks.
You got to take risks, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get some risks, like...
Yeah. I think you would have regretted it if you didn't.
If I didn't take it, do you know what I mean? I feel like, and that was a really good win for me, you know what I mean? So I'm glad I took the risk. I'm glad I got the win, and yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your fighting style as well.
Yes.
So obviously you've had 12 fights, 12 wins, 7 knockouts. What would you say your boxing style is? Are you a boxer? Are you a brawler? It's a tough one for me to nail down when I watch you. It's very...
I feel like I've got many different styles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got a lot of different styles. Like, for a tall guy, I don't mind having it on the inside a little bit, you know what I mean? I like fighting on the inside.
You're welterweight,
yeah, welter,
right? And you're 6'1".
6 foot. I don't know where they put
is
the one
inside. Is it a box
inside.
rack? They put 6'1"?
Yeah, I'm not 6'1".
Even, to be fair, 6 foot.
6 foot's a big welter. Yeah, it's a big welter. And I think that's another problem when it comes to being avoided. I feel like, again, not the fighters, but the teams. Yeah. They look at me, 6 foot, welterweight, southpaw, can punch.
Notoriously
they just
avoided.
Think there's just not... There's easier fights out there, you know what I mean? So that's like another reason why I don't think I get the fights. But yeah, my fighting style, I'd like to say like a aggressive counter puncher, really. I'm not your typical southpaw, sit on the back foot too much. I can do that, obviously, because from the amateur days, but I like to get in there, I hit to hurt, you know what I mean? I want to take people out. It's funny because when I first come to Shiny, my record was 6-0, 2 knockouts.
Okay.
Then when we come back, all my fights, bar my last one, we stopped everyone.
Really?
And I just think, like I say to him, if I started my career with him in the Midlands, I generally believe I'd probably be 12-0, probably 10 knockouts, I reckon.
What do you think clicked with you and Shiny, and how did you guys get into contact?
Yeah. We got in contact because he took me on my last fight, my second to last fight in the amateurs. So we knew him from the amateur days with England and things like that.
And you felt comfortable with him?
Yeah, and we just boxed. We boxed out in Italy, and I boxed a really good kid, and I beat him quite comfy, to be honest.
Yeah.
And just I got on, I clicked with him. You know what I mean? It was just we got on quite well. And then when I first turned pro, I didn't think, let's go to the Midlands. You know what I mean? I'm thinking I want to go local. And then I was at a good gym, bundles of fighters, really good fighters. But I think too many fighters.
Okay.
And I weren't really like I wouldn't say top priority, but I just wasn't at the forefront of it maybe. And then I got injured. Then I was out for ages. I come back. Don't know, man. It weren't the right gym for me. Let's say and then obviously some little bits and bobs went on, and I was out of the ring for a while. I was going to retire.
Really?
Yeah.
At what point was that?
This was. So when did I come back? 2023.
So is this before you had any pro bouts or after?
No, I had pro fights. I must have been. I was 6-0 too. So I was 6-0. I signed a contract, and a few things was telling me that I'm gonna get certain things and whatever.
Okay.
And then I just got sat on the shelf. You know what I mean? And obviously my missus was pregnant.
It's pressure on a guy.
Yeah,
as well,
man.
Right?
Do you know what I mean? It was
this
hard.
Is your job.
It's really hard, and I was just getting mucked about and lied to.
How does that feel mentally in the boxing world when you're getting promised these things and it doesn't come through? Because it's something that you probably face not once, not twice, but you've probably faced it multiple times.
I've faced it a good few times. This one was a bit sore though, you know what I mean? Because obviously my missus was pregnant and I just wanted to get things done, but for whatever reason it weren't working. And then obviously I had some time off. I finally got released from the contract that I was in. Then I spoke to my old coach and just said, I'm gonna either retire or I'm gonna go elsewhere, but I'm gonna leave the gym. Like obviously, I still talk to the boys that are from that gym still. And it's no like it weren't like no mad thing, you know what I mean? Like it just wasn't the right gym for me. And then when this happened, I just felt like it definitely isn't. I shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I need to either retire because I was just sick and tired of boxing, or give it another go. And then obviously I had about 4 months doing nothing, and my little boy was obviously born, and I enjoyed that. And then I thought, no, let's get back on it. And then that's when Shiny reached out to me, and then
what made you decide to not retire?
Because I know I've got so much more to give. You know what I mean? I generally, like I said earlier, I generally do believe I can go all the way. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be one of them people when I'm 40 sitting there thinking, fuck, why did I not do that? Why did I not try? You know what I mean? Like, why did I give up? Like, I should have kept going, you know what I mean? And I'll be honest, this is all I've known. I've done this since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing else, you know what I mean? If I put the time in, maybe I can, but right now, in my head, I can't do nothing else. I can fight, that's it. So I need this to work. So that's why I thought, well, I can't just sit and retire. I've got kids, like, my house to feed, and I think I can go all the way, you know what I mean?
You know what? I absolutely admire that. And because even the last kid on my podcast, he's a young kid, but he's battling to get into Formula One.
Right.
And he's got anything and everything kind of against him.
Yeah.
But I'll say the same thing to you, what I said to him, like, you're the main character. You're doing main character shit, so to speak, right? Like, you could easily take a safe job that brings in a salary, which can be a bit of a drug in a way. Just keeps you living
it's like you're in the comfort zone, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Exactly, and you can go through life, but sometimes I think you've just got to take the risk.
Yeah, of course.
I think they're the only people that really go on to do those main character things. And like I said, you believe in your ability. So it's not as though even you saying like you think you can go all the way and be world champion, you're not saying anything far-fetched because your pedigree and your credentials fully support what you're saying in a way, right? Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done, but it can definitely be done, right?
I think so. I do generally believe I can. I feel like right now the welterweight division is not as tough as what it once was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you think the world champions
I agree with you
back
there.
in the day, Floyd Mayweather, Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Now you got like that Barrios, who's WBC world champ, Rolly Romero, or whatever his name is, the American.
Yeah.
Brian Norman, who's I do actually rate, but do you know what I mean? It's not the toughest division. Crocker's just won a title.
This sounds ludicrous, and you probably wouldn't disagree with me, to be fair, because you believe in your ability. Like I've seen boxers like Conor Benn,
Yeah,
and obviously he's had the name behind him,
Yes.
and obviously he's a ferocious fighter.
yeah.
But I think you're clearly a technically much
Better fighter.
much better fighter
Yeah.
than somebody like that. And I
Course.
don't think I'm being
Nah,
ridiculous
I
in saying
agree.
something
No, I
like
agree.
that. You know, you
I
probably
said
agree,
this
right?
to my manager earlier. Was having a Nando's, and I said, "Fucking hell." Oh, sorry for swearing, but I said,
No,
"Fucking
carry
hell."
on, mate.
I wish my dad was a former world champion. You know what I mean?
It's not fucking out,
You know
Dad.
what
Could have sorted me out, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, like, liven up, mate.
If only.
Because we was chatting, we having a Nando's, and we was chatting, and like
Yeah.
just can't seem to get. Obviously, at the minute, we're still trying to sort some bits out, and it's all. And I
Yeah.
just said, I wish my dad was that, because then you'd be made like that, wouldn't you? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
mate.
You'd be in,
It would.
you'd
It,
be
it
in
would
there,
help.
man.
It would help definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, because obviously I looked at yourself on BoxRec. I looked at some of the other fighters who were ahead of you, and the fighters who were fighting out there, and I was like, yeah, you could really
Yeah,
give some of these
listen,
guys.
I feel like in that top 10 division, especially on BoxRec, it's not like the official rankings.
It's
you know
not.
what I mean?
No.
But
Yeah.
but then
It's like a good indicator.
yeah, it's just a
right?
good like sort of thing, and I think anyone in them rankings can beat each other. I'll be honest, like I'm not saying that I can't lose. We can all beat each other, but I feel like I need the opportunity to show how good I am. You know what I mean? Like I said it in that video that I'm talking when I said I was off the show. Like I'm taking these hard fights. There are potential banana skin opponents there, fights that I can
Yeah,
lose. I'm not saying I
definitely.
can't. I'm not like unbeatable. You know what I mean? Like I can lose, and if I lose, where do I go from there? You know what I mean? At this stage of my career, I need a big name that everyone knows. So when I beat them, it propels me
Puts
to
your name
bigger
on the
fights.
map,
You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Because right now, I'm not really. I keep like getting these toughies, and it don't do anything. When I win, it's just like probably shooting myself in the foot.
I think you're beating solid opponents.
Yeah.
But again, opponents that also don't have that
Yeah, they
bit
haven't
of
got the
an-
big names. They're probably.
Yeah.
That's why, to be honest, that's why I think the last fella I fought.
Yeah, tell me about that fight. How,
Yeah.
how did you find that? Because that was the first one on Boxer,
First-
right?
Yeah, my first one, probably the worst I've ever boxed. To be fair, like
He's a tough opponent.
he was
isn't
tough. He was really tough, and I said it. And
Looked awkward as well.
yeah, he's knew all the tricks and things like that. And
Good learning.
good learning fight. At the time, I was pissed. I was
Yeah,
pissed off.
why?
Yeah, because I just wanted to. I wanted to
Clean
do
him
better.
out.
I wanted to do better. I wanted to win by knockout.
Yeah.
But I knew the bookies had me a mental favourite, and I thought
They?
mental, and I thought that's disrespectful because I know Luke. I know Lucas from the circuit. I know his dad. I know his brother.
Yeah.
They're fighting people. They're good fighters. So
Yeah.
to have me as such a high thing, I thought was a bit disrespectful.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But the fight itself was a tough fight, but a fight that I thought I quite clearly won in a competitive fight.
Yeah.
And then when I watched it back, it's mad. It's a completely different fight. So in there, it was like, if it was quite, I felt a bit flat. It was quite hard, whatever. When I watched it back, I felt like you can't even see that I looked flat, and I thought I won the fight pretty comfortable when I watched
Yeah.
it back. You know what I mean? Like on the TV, when I watched it back on YouTube, I feel like I win the fight quite comfortable.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Because I had people there watching me, and then people was ringing them up like, "Oh, he smashed him." That was it, like,
And you're
he's
like, what
done
you
re-"
on about?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, nah, I didn't smash him. That was like quite a tough fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, still thought I won.
Yeah.
I clearly thought I won, but just it was a good competitive fight. Then when I watch it back, I feel like I actually won quite easy.
Yeah.
Again, competitive, but I thought I won.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the clear winner in that when I watched it back.
Do you get to have many conversations with obviously Ben Shalom, the promoter
Yeah.
from Boxer?
No, he just
Or is his
congratulated me.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Did they talk to you much about the matchmaking and who they've?
No, he said to me
right.
before when we was weighing in, he said, "You got a tough fight tomorrow," and I said, "Yeah, I do know that. Yeah, he's got a tough one as well, though." I said, like,
Yeah.
we're both good fighters. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
tough fights. But do you know what? From that fight was in April, and it's another thing that goes on that people don't really understand. So I boxed in September for the Commonwealth Silver title. I won that, and I went on holiday, and then 3 days into the holiday, my manager rings me like, "Your name's been put forward to fight Josh Kelly in Wembley." So you have to, when
When was that?
he was fighting Liam Smith, and Liam Smith pulled out. Tyler Denny fought Hamza.
Yes,
that show.
So you were meant to fight Josh Kelly?
Well, no, I wasn't meant. My name got put forward. Me and a
Okay.
couple others, our names got put forward. Then I'm thinking, oh, fuck, if I get that. Like I said, yes, of course. Like it's at middleweight, so I had to jump up 2 weights. But Josh Kelly's good, but he's not like, it's not like, oh, do you want to fight Hamza Shiraz at middleweight? Because I'd say, no, that's stupid. You know what I mean?
But Josh Kelly,
moved up.
Yeah.
I feel like he was moving up because it was Liam Smith, and
he's
he probably
about 5'9". So
I think, and he's not like a ferocious puncher, is he? You know what I mean? So he's good, very good, but I thought I can beat him. You know what I mean? So I thought, let's have that.
I think you could.
Yeah, no, I do.
Because he looked absolutely ridiculously unbeatable in his first 2 or 3 pros, but I think as the levels went up, he fought Avanisi and a couple of others. I think the holes in his armour started to show, right?
Yeah, I just think he's very good early, very sharp early and things like that. And then obviously even the Ishmael Davis fight, he brought it back quite late. When it was late, he brought it back and made the fight closer. But yeah, so they offered us that, or not offered us, they put my name forward, and then they obviously picked Davis, which I get why it makes more sense. He's only a weighter below, bit of a bigger name. Do you know what I mean? So I got that. I come back from holiday, and my manager rang me again, like they want me to fight Echo Esserman, Frank Warren, in November. So it was about 6 weeks for that. I said, yes, 100%, let's go. That's the big name that I wanted. Like, that's a massive name that could, if I beat him, it's going to do wonders for my career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it was going on for like 3 weeks, but in the end, the team didn't want it. Like, don't think not the fight, obviously, because he fights anyone, but just couldn't.
It's funny that your name keeps getting put out there as a logical opponent.
Yeah.
But then I think when it comes down to logically, they look at your name, they look at your record, your pedigree, your height.
It's just easier fights out there. Then obviously they pick Ben Vaughan instead, which is a hard fight anyway.
If the Josh Kelly fight came about again now, would you take it?
I think so. Yeah, I would take it, but I think like 154.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd jump up to middleweight.
He's too small for middleweight.
Yeah, so I think because he moved up to middle, but I think just for Liam Smith.
Just for Liam, yeah. I think I'd say Josh is probably, because he is a thick.
Yeah, he's
lad,
thick.
he's probably a light middle.
Yeah,
I'd say
I think
max.
light middle. And this is what I was saying to Shiny. If we can't get the opportunities at welter, I'll just move up.
Have you considered that, moving up the weight?
I have. Shiny obviously wants to hold out for welter. My manager agrees with me, but only for the right fight and things like that. There's things that we got to go over as a team. You know what I mean? But I do think I wouldn't be the biggest 154.
What about somebody, and I feel like this would make a barnstormer of a fight. I've literally just thought of this now. About someone like Sam Egginton.
Yeah, see, I'd fight Sam, definitely. But
you already had that in your mind,
I would definitely fight him. But again, he's an experienced guy, man. He don't get the credit he deserves.
He doesn't know.
And if I just jumped, let's just say now, oh, do you want to fight Sam Egan at 154? Yeah, all right. And it's my first fight, and I've not even done 10. I've never done 10, 12 rounds. He's a seasoned guy. Like, I'm not stupid, man. Like, I still think I'm better than him, but the experience comes a long way in the fight game.
Experience makes a difference.
Do you know what I mean?
That's why I think that last fight was brilliant for you.
Yeah,
it was a tough fight, tough opponent.
Yeah.
You got the rounds. What is the most amount of rounds?
8. That's the most I've ever done. Yeah.
So I think that's a good solid 8 rounds.
I think that as well. And again, because like I was saying, when the Echo one didn't come off, so I was in the gym for like 3 weeks. Then I just read it out till probably like 2 weeks before Christmas. Probably should have rested, but I never. I'd done 2 weeks, trained up until 2 weeks of Christmas, had Christmas off, come back in January. Then we was meant to fight mid-Feb in Saudi before like they do the main events, like the main show, but they was doing these little shows like a couple of days before.
Yeah.
So we got put forward to fight for that mid-Feb. So I'm doing that 6 weeks from Jan to whenever.
Yeah.
Then I think like halfway through January, the phone rings. Do you want to fight February the 1st on the Sky show? I said, yeah, 100%, because this is before I was obviously signed by him. I said, yeah, definitely, like, let's have it. And I'm cutting weight, so obviously my plans had to change because I'm not now mid-Feb. I think it was the 1st of Feb show. So I've had to, not crash the weight, but I've had to cut my food a bit too quick and sort of make the weight. Then the day before the weigh-in, the fighter apparently don't want to fight me now, or the Saints gone on and I'm off the show. I'm not on it. Then I'm thinking, so I've just crashed the weight, not unhealthily, healthily, but you know what I mean? I'm crashing weight.
You put yourself through the ringer a bit.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then that fight gets pulled. I'm thinking, oh, God. And then we're here for another week. Then the mid-February show got cancelled. They scrapped the little bits before the main thing. So then I'm like, bloody hell. So I'd like 2 weeks at home. Then they rang and was like, do you want to fight? You're gonna with Boxer now. Do you want to sign April 20th? Then I'm training all of that, and then 3 weeks before the fight, Lucas announced he was fighting Indabasi. So I'm on the phone the day we're meant to announce our fight.
Lucas.
So the Lucas who I fought, no Banningal.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah. So we're meant to be fighting.
Did he fight in Indabasi?
No, but he was we was meant to fight, yeah. And on the Monday, it was our fight was meant to get announced. I'm just scrolling on Instagram, and then he announced he's fighting Indabasi.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking, what? Like, this is long, mate. Like, I'm not another fight I'm not gonna have. Then it was like a week went by, and they finally announced our fight. Yeah, and there was 2 weeks to go, but my head was so gone. I was mentally, physically just drained. Do you know what I mean? Keep making weight, then not making weight, then do you know what I mean? I'm constantly in the gym.
Take a serious toll. Right?
Yes, it's just it was, and I'll be honest, like in the end, I just thought this is proper long, mate. I was saying to my missus, like, I just want this fight to be done so I can just have a break. Like, I was so fed up, and I feel like that had affected my performance. Not like again when I watched it back, I was
that would affect anyone's performance.
yeah. Do you know what I mean?
think.
Like in there, I felt very flat, and I sort of he was good at pressuring, but I sort of allowed him to pressure me. I couldn't really move my feet too much, and I thought, oh, come on, then we'll just have a little go in the pocket. You know what I mean?
I think that's a sign of a very good boxer though, who's not at his best but finds a way to win.
This is what I'm saying, yeah. Because after
convincingly as well.
a lot of people were saying that it was his best performance. You know what I mean? Career
Really?
best performance, and it was since I've come back, it's my worst performance.
Yeah.
But then, like that's how it felt in there. But then when I watched it back, it didn't even look like I was flat. It looked like I was outgunning him on the inside, outboxing him on the outside. He was picking some decent little uppercuts and things like that. I was getting caught, but he was trying to nick the rounds or nick little single shots here and there. Whereas I feel like I was just outworking him.
Yeah.
And it was when I watched it back, I was actually happy with the performance. Then you know what I mean.
That's fair.
This is what we go through. You know what I mean. Especially me. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I go
tough,
through
mate.
fucking everything. You know what I mean.
It does. Do you know what? I feel like you're being tested. Something out there in the universe.
Yeah,
is
it's trying to test me. But when am I going to come through? That's what I think.
I think one of the most, and I've been saying this to a few people the last few weeks. I've just been seeing so many signs of it. The most underestimated trait to have is persistence and consistency.
Just not giving up. You know what I mean? Just got to keep going.
At that moment when you feel like, do you know what, it's worth packing in now.
Yeah.
I think that's when 99% of people would. If at that moment, I think if you keep going and keep pushing,
Something's got to happen.
Something's going to give. If you put all of your energy in any which way you can, whether it be you start talking more social media, you start doing this, and you put all your energies into it, I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like, obviously, I always feel like, oh, this is proper long. This like, I might just go back to Kent, train round there, down there. Like, I'd never want to do that.
I can imagine you like.
But in the end, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's what on the Monday here, it's half time. It took me 4 hours to get here. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck?
Is it because you know the quality of training that you'd be doing there wouldn't be the same as what you're getting here?
Oh, I wouldn't like to say the quality as in like a technical aspect, because for one, there's good coaches down my way.
Yeah, I mean like just in terms of
I just feel like
your
the hard work,
headspace
man. It's really hard work.
Yeah.
Like down this way, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they push you to the limits, and I'm away from distractions. I'm away from my kids and that, which gives me that extra bit of a push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes me like
know what you're fighting for.
you know what I mean? So I like coming here. Do you know what I mean? But like, there's obviously times in my own head where I think this is long. But then when I speak to other fighters, loads of people have sort of all gone through the same thing. Most fighters do. I was speaking to Leon. He's fighting soon, so I've been helping him do some sparring, just tech sparring. And he said like in COVID he had 5 fights.
Who's this? Sorry?
Leon Edwards, not a UFC fighter.
Oh, Leon Edwards, Chinese lad.
Yeah, so we've been helping him out, doing some bits like just tech sparring and that for his fight. And I was speaking to him about like what I'm going through and that, and then he said in lockdown he had 5 fights cancelled that he's done 5 camps for. Do you know what I mean? Like, all and then he felt like giving up, didn't give up. Then he went and won a world title in the UFC. I was speaking to Jake Hadley, another UFC fighter. Said like he was taking mad risky fights for peanuts just because he believed in himself. Kept winning them. Then next thing you know, he got with the UFC. He said he said he's been there like no money and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like fighters go through that. That's what makes fighters like. We go through hard times, but like you say, you could give up. But I'm going to give up in a hard time and sort of be, what am I doing now? Or do I push through and keep going and we get there? You know what I mean? And
I think this is what a lot of casual boxing fans don't. You see this, they see the glitz and the
Yeah,
glamour
yeah.
of you being in the ring, getting
Yeah.
all the attention,
Yes.
getting your hand raised, but they don't see all of this, everything that you've had to go through
Yeah.
leading up to it, right? Which is why I hope this gives people a bit of an insight into how difficult the boxing business and the boxing world
and
is.
not everyone's gonna bend where they can get 10 mil for a fight, or not everyone's Anthony Joshua, not everyone's, do you know what I mean? Yes, when you crack it, there's money in boxing, but to get there, there's no money, really,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? For what you're putting in, sacrifices, your own money, things like that, it don't add up, you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it, really.
Yeah.
But when you push through and you get the fights and you get the bigger money and things like that, then it does start to become worth it, you know what I mean? But I feel like most general public people probably think, oh, you're a professional, you must be rich, or you're this, you've got money, you know what I mean? And it's not like that at all, you know what I mean?
Obviously, I used to box amateur a while ago. Funnily enough, I think me and Sam Egginson used to be on the same show.
Oh, did you really?
We
Yeah.
were different weights
Yeah.
back then. I was an average amateur boxer. I wasn't too bad, but I remember when I was coming to the end of it, I started looking at what's required of you if you want to go professional, without having a big name behind you. I don't think my heart was ever really actually in it, but I wanted to know what the sketch was, and I think I was told something along the lines of you have to sell about 50 tickets just to cover the cost of your opponent, right?
Yeah,
Is it along those type of lines?
Probably more now.
Really?
Yeah, opponents are dear now, you know what I mean?
Inflation, mate. Jesus Christ.
Do you know what I mean? And especially when they come to the UK, like the foreign ones, they just think like the UK's rich, you know what I mean? So, yeah, the price have gone up, man.
Jesus, so you've potentially got to sell more than 50 tickets just to cover your
opponent and things like that. Then obviously you got to pay your percentages out to the trainer and manager, and then whatever's left, you have to bust up 50-50 with the promoter. So some people sell like, I don't know, a certain amount of tickets, cover the opponent, but then don't get paid on them ticket deals. Some people can't get paid. Like, it's a tough sport.
Do you know what's really funny? I wasn't actually going to discuss this, but I thought it'd be interesting to get your view on it. Because, funnily enough, again, it's BoxRec, so it's not 100% reliable.
Yeah.
But his name was in your weight division. He was on my podcast. And this, he won't mind me saying this, but he says the most ludicrous, crazy, out there things. And somehow he gets tons of views.
Does he really? Yeah,
like Prince Patel.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I remember him from the amateur days. He used to box for a club that we was quite close with, Earlsfield. Yeah, he's a mad guy, man.
Yeah. Oh, is he from your way, is he?
Well, he's from...
In London, way, isn't he?
Yeah, like, so I'm from South East London.
Yeah.
And now I'm in Kent with my missus, but I think he must be proper London, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
he's a character.
Yeah, he's a character. I don't know what he's doing. Is he still fiting now? Is he? Or...
Obviously,
he had all like the Indian titles or something, didn't he? Like all like some mad like.
He was fighting abroad, and I don't know whether it was Africa or I can't quite remember whereabouts. But I remember seeing him in your weight division, and at one point I was going to give him a ring. Like, fancy coming on with Elliot?
He actually might, but you know what? I remember when he was an amateur, he was tiny, man. He was tiny.
Do you know what? I don't think he's a natural welterweight.
Nah, he can't be. He can't be. He was like 49 kilos as an amateur. I remember.
Yeah. I think I remember him as an amateur. So again, I'm 93, and I think he was 93. And I think when he was on the podcast, he said no one cares about the little guys, and because he wants they want. But then it's hard to put on weight naturally that quickly. Yeah. So, and again, I'm not sure. I don't think he's had a fight for a while now, so I don't know what his plans are. Maybe I'll have to get him back on and see if he fancies one with you.
See if he fancies a scrap.
And might help with your profile.
Yeah, because he does some numbers. He
does, mate. I think. Coogan seems to have taken a shine to it.
Really,
well, he didn't at first. I think Coogan put it on him.
Did he really?
Yeah. I think there's a video on. Again, he won't mind me saying. I think there's a video because I asked him about it on the podcast. I think Coogan put it on him, but somehow now they're best of friends again.
Mates, yeah.
It's a funny old world, but So obviously you train under Shiny.
Yes.
I think you've done a good few rounds with Aaron Bowen as well, right? He's one of the guests in the studio.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's a good spar.
Yeah, it's a good spar. Yeah, it's a good spar, to be fair. We're both big boys for the weight, you know what I mean? And it's funny because like some people, especially with Aaron, where he's so big for middleweight, they don't really want to get involved and spar him and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But when we spar, we don't always spar hard, but we have a couple of hard spars, you know what I mean? And we give it to each other, like it's good.
I can imagine you're a good matchup in terms of those learning technical
Yeah,
spars
it
as well.
is
But
good.
also, both know how to give it.
Yeah, we can have a
as
little
well.
go. You know what I mean? And we both.
I bet you both
Mate,
love
I tell
having
you
it.
what, it's him, man. He's got
Just
some.
one person,
He's
it's
got
like one
some.
punch.
He's got some ginger fucking anger issues, mate. You catch me with one shot, I see he goes red, and then you end up having a punch up. But
I think we've all seen that.
Yeah,
So
do you know what I
I
mean?
believe you. I've seen it in the ring. It's so strange. Again, I've had Aaron on the podcast.
Yeah,
He's so quiet.
he's so
and
chilled
calm.
out. Yeah, I
So
know.
when he's in
Gets
there,
the ring,
he just
gets,
loves a scrap.
Yeah, he loves
yeah.
it. He's got it in him. He's got a bit of dog. Well, not a bit. He's got dog in him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's got it. Like, but because of that,
Do you like to scrap as well?
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love fighting, man. Sometimes I probably fight a bit too much.
Yeah.
More so in sparring than fights, but yeah, I think Aaron's underestimated. His boxing ability is underestimated. Do you know what I mean? He when he's so tall and big for the weight, like when he's in and out on his feet and boxes, kicks it at range. I mean, he's a very good fighter.
Do you think your boxing ability is underestimated? Because what were you like in the amateurs? You boxed for England, right?
Yeah. So I had
the nationals and
108
stuff?
fights.
108 amateurs.
Yeah, 183. So I had a good record, but I lost when it mattered. So I won one national title, but I probably should have won 5 or 6. And I got to a couple finals.
Well, it's the same as me. I got to one national final and I lost. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lost
Do you
when
know
it
what I mean?
mattered.
So like, I used to lose when it mattered, or like I won the junior ABAs. Then the year after, I got to the semi-finals and I boxed another good kid, but I used to spar him and I used to think I'd get that, I'd win that one, and then he beat me. And I just always used to sort of fall short. You know what I mean?
But it's something you can learn from now.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting older, you know you need to be switched
Yeah, you
on
got to
in the
be
big
on it.
moments.
And I feel like as a young amateur, like I sometimes would get beat by people I shouldn't be getting beat by. When I turned senior,
well,
it
it's
all
a good
changed.
bloody record. What was it? Say the record again.
108 fights and 80. I lost 22. Yeah, 83 wins.
That's a good bloody amateur record.
But then as a senior, it sort of something switched in me, and I was a lot.
What age did you start as an amateur then?
11 was my first fight.
Yeah,
So I was in the gym from 7, but turning 8 that year.
Yeah.
So I must have started maybe like June, because
Yeah.
coming to the end of the school year. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
then I was basically 8.
Yeah.
Then obviously when I turned 18, you go senior, and I don't know, like I just started doing a bit of strength conditioning, and things started to change, and I'd only really lose like, again, I'd lost when it mattered. I lost in the ABA finals, a couple semi-finals to good kids.
Did you still manage to keep boxing for England though?
Yeah. When I was losing, they were still picking me
Really?
as a senior. Yeah,
They must have seen something in you. Then.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think because amateurs like
I thought you had to win it to be picked.
no,
Or
you
was
have
it
to.
not?
Nah, so you have to. You sort of have to get to the finals or win it to get a Great Britain assessment.
Okay.
Yeah, but obviously Team England's different to Great Britain. So I was basically, even though I might have got beat, I was still technically like at that weight, 64 is like number 1 in England. But then you had the 2 above me that were Great Britain, or 3 above me that could have been Great Britain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I boxed for England 10 times. I was a decent amateur. I was a good amateur, but I just think had I'd won more national titles, I probably would have been a bit. Could have helped my pro career maybe.
Signed by like a big promoter straight away.
Yeah, because I signed with MTK at first, so I was with MTK. That was great.
They were quite big at the time.
Yeah, they was massive. Yeah, my first fight was on Sky Sports, golden contract. It was really good, man. It was good, but then some bullshit happened, and they got forced out of boxing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then that's what made me have to make a change, and then that's change
Yeah.
prolonged my career. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just talking about prolonging your career, how old are you now?
I'm 28 now.
28. I say
Yeah.
it's a good age, and I think if there's one thing that I've noticed, the longevity of boxers is increasing.
Yeah,
Like they're fighting
I
into
feel,
their
I feel
late
like
30s
people's
now.
lifestyles choices have changed now.
What would you say your lifestyle's like out the ring, out of camp? Is it good? Do you look after
I
yourself?
feel like it is. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong.
It's like Shiny's listening.
Yeah, I eat veg all day. Do you know what it was? I haven't had a booze now. I don't drink. You know what I mean?
Oh, good.
Obviously,
I think that's always a kryptonite
Yeah,
for
I think
boxers,
it's-
even out of camp.
yeah,
I
it's
just-
like I don't drink because obviously, like there was when I weren't boxing, I had a bit with this whole situation. I was out the ring, so I wasn't boxing, and I wasn't really going to the gym. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I was getting fed up. Like I'd go and train, nothing was happening. Then I'd have time off, and then I'd go out and I'd have a booze. Not just then, but maybe from like I probably didn't drink till I was about 18.
Yeah.
Then 18 to like, what am I, 28? I ain't boozed for like 2.5 years. So from 18 to then, I'd have a drink, like not heavy, but in the end, it was just changing me as a person, man. Do you know what I mean? And it was just negative, very negative. And
Was it affecting your mental health at the time? Was it when you were going through the cancellations and things like that?
no, I wouldn't say that. I ain't really struggled with my mental health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm quite like I like to think I'm quite just
Hard.
just solid guy, man. Like
Yeah,
I just is what it is.
fair. I'll rate
I
that.
just get on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever badness goes on in my career is what it is.
Do you think
Man.
boxing's taught you that, the resilience?
Probably, and maybe just it's just in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. Maybe it's just that.
It's like a dog in life.
Yeah, do you know what I
right?
mean? I think
Like,
it's just I just don't like
Yeah.
it is what it is, and yeah, just towards the end before I give up drinking, like it was just getting a bit. I was just I don't know changing me as a person, like I said, and I was just doing silly things and doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. Then like my missus would be pregnant, but I'll be out and like I won't come home or something like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then I just
It's a slippery slope.
yeah,
innit?
just not a good sign. I thought, and then I just thought, what am I doing here? Then like, I think a couple of weeks before my little boy was born, we went out to Canary Wharf, ended up having a booze, and I didn't go home to my missus. You know what I mean? I just went back like to my mum's and that. But I just should have gone home, but I was too drunk. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go
It
home.
can do funny things.
Yeah,
to
just weird,
alcohol.
innit? You know what I
It
mean?
does. It does change as
Yeah,
a
it does
person. While
change
you're
you.
under the influence, especially, you're a different person.
Yeah, you are a
right?
different person. And I remember waking up at my mum's next day and I'm throwing up. I'm so hungover. My missus trying to like contact me and things like that, and they ain't answered. And then I'm thinking, she's 2 weeks to go till my boy's born. If she was to randomly go in labour now, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like a mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I just thought, what am I doing? Like, I want to get back into boxing because obviously I wasn't even fighting then. Then I was just thinking,
Yeah.
I want to get back into boxing. I need to scrap this. This ain't no good for me. I'm a clean like how I am. I'm normally as an amateur. Like I'm always training. So if I did have a drink, I'd throw up. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't agree with me. Your body's like a temple when you're an athlete, you know what I mean? So when you're putting poison in your body, it don't agree with you, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be doing it. So then I just knocked on the head, and to be honest, it's the best thing I've ever done. I mean, yeah, I swear, like you're not missing out on nothing. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, like not boozing or
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
like I've been there and done it. I went to like university and stuff, and I lived the university lifestyle,
big party
so
and
to
that,
speak,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
like going out, getting drunk, staying out till God knows what time, and yeah, nothing good ever came from it. No good decisions were ever made.
No
and
good. At the time, you might think it's fun and things like that, but it ain't, man. And I generally believe
suppresses your potential in every way,
Yeah.
right? Of anything successful you're potentially going to do
Yeah.
in life, it holds you back.
you
from
don't.
it.
If you have a booze and you wake up like shit, I wouldn't train for a week. Things like that, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then I just don't think it's any good. And I think I actually think now this year a lot of people are actually knocking the booze on the head.
are,
And,
mate,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I feel
Even
like
when
health
you-
and fitness is very, very much the forefront this year, and everyone's trying to be healthy. You know what I mean? Which is good.
Massively. You've even seen there's so many clubs and stuff.
Yeah,
closing
running
down
clubs.
in the
I've never seen so many run clubs in my life. Like honestly, everyone. Oh, you mean nightclubs closing
like-
down? Yeah,
yeah,
pubs.
closing
Pubs are
down.
gone,
They're
man.
all
That's
getting-
like a
Yeah,
dying breed.
exactly.
But when I remember
good to
the
see though,
run clubs.
right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because most people all act bravado. Yeah, drinking, drugs, drinking. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what everyone acting. But probably sit at home and wish they could stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And wish they-
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think
Like,
that's what it is. Yeah,
so,
definitely. So now I feel like it's becoming cool to not drink
not
again.
do it, yeah,
so I know
yeah,
for a
yeah.
long time, and you still get it now, that if you say to somebody you don't drink, they're like, oh, what's wrong?
yeah,
what's wrong with you?
that? Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah,
all right?
yeah, do you know what I mean?
But I think that's changing
Yeah, I
now.
do.
It's not so cool to
Yeah,
be
yes. Who wants to like be constantly out their heads,
being
fucking
sloppy.
Yeah, do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, no, I don't. And ever since I've stopped boozing, for one, I've never woke up hungover with my kids. Yeah, I ain't even woken up at 5 in the morning,
bad
head pounding. You
combination,
know what
mate,
I
yeah.
mean? Like, I ain't had that. And I don't put myself in no bad positions now. No silly
Yeah.
choices made. Do you know what I mean? And it's just all. And even for my boxing, like, it's made my boxing career probably go. You know what I mean?
And it probably will prolong your career as
Yeah, I
well,
think
right?
so.
Because obviously you've seen other boxers who have perhaps not lived the cleanest of life,
Yeah.
and I think it does shorten
It does
your career a
shorten
little
your career.
bit.
Like look at people like Terence Crawford. He's 38. Just
believe
turned
that
30.
performance
He's
at 38.
unreal.
That
He
was
don't
unreal.
drink, don't smoke, don't
Yeah.
take drugs. Don't. Do you know what I mean? You got to live like that
Yeah.
if you want to. Do you know what I mean? And I do think I'm 28 now, but if I wanted to, I reckon I've got another 10 years in me.
Yeah.
If I want to.
Yeah, I think you could as well, because it sounds like you live the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there's just something about you which I get kind of Carl Froch vibes off you a little bit, where you
Yeah.
could go into your
Yeah, I could
into
go
your
late,
later
man.
30s.
I definitely could. I do think. Let's see how my career plans out, and then.
Yeah.
we'll go from there. I don't know if I want to be 38 making welterweight though.
Yeah, you may need to move up through the weights at that point. But yeah, no, I can imagine. But one of the other things I just want to quickly go over with you as well is the psychology side of the sport. I'm not sure how invested in this you are, because like you said, you seem somebody with a pretty hard exterior and interior, to be fair, that just wants to crack on with things, get it done. It is what it is. You take it in your stride.
Yes.
Is it important for you? Do you visualize? Do you do any of that type of stuff? Is there any kind of mental preparation that you do before fights?
It's funny. I wouldn't say I visualize as in like every day sit there visualizing like like the Conor McGregor turnout. Like I'm not really like that, but every day I do have thoughts in my head of like winning titles and winning things.
See it.
So yeah, I can see myself.
It's visualization.
But it is visualized. You know what I mean? It is, but it's not like.
You don't like to put a name on it.
No, like I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just if I'm on a run, you know what I mean? I do things like that, but I'm not consciously doing it. It's like unconsciously in my mind.
But do you know when I think it works the most? When you do it subconsciously.
Really,
and I say this to people, when something is so ingrained in you and it becomes second nature and it goes into your subconscious, that is basically you projecting
that is it,
out.
Yeah.
So I think
I do it, but just not really realising it, yeah.
From the pure point of you want something that badly, that it's a subconscious, it's the obsession with something, right? Similar to Conor McGregor, it was an obsession, as it is for you now. So fingers crossed that
so hopefully it all goes out,
goes the same way.
Goes the right way. That'd be nice.
Wicked. I do want to do a quick fire round through a few names. Obviously, I looked on BoxRec. I had a look who was in your category. A few interesting names there. You said before the podcast you're not the type to call any names out. And to be fair, I don't think it helps you or puts you at a disadvantage, because if someone wants to fight you, they'll fight you. If they don't, they don't. Right?
And you've got to realise that another thing now, I'll just quickly before you do the quick fires. So the business, where I'm in the high risk, low reward, there's certain fighters out there that would fight me for sure, but they can go and fight this big name because they're a bit of a bigger name than me. And they're going to go and get a lot more money. So I understand it. I get it. I understand I'm not the biggest draw and I'm a hard fighter. They're not doing it because they don't want to fight me. But most of these people have probably got families. They've got kids. They've got to do what's right for them. You know what I mean? I get it. I just want the opportunity to get my chance at a big name. Because then that's all I want. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep taking these high risks. Like I don't want to be taking these fights that are hard fights, but no one knows them, or they're a bit unknown. It's not doing nothing. I want the chance. All I want is a chance to fight one of the bigger names, just so I get my opportunity to show people how good I am, and hopefully kick my career in a better direction. But
it's just that one fight we need, right?
That's
it's that one fight. But so a couple of names I was looking at. Obviously, got Jack Carroll, who's number one. He's number one in the welterweight division, right?
On BoxRec, I don't know officially.
I don't know how he's officially,
but BoxRec, yeah.
But obviously that jump's not going to happen straight to Carroll. But you've got Pat McCormack, and I think he's obviously he was on the GB squad.
Yeah, very good fighter.
I think he had about 8 professional contests along those lines.
8 or 9 or something like that. Yeah,
would you fancy your chances against?
Yeah,
Pat?
100%. But again, that's another one who's that's a hard fight. I'm not stupid, you know what I mean? I'm not deluded. That's a very tough fight, so I want to get paid for that fight. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I get the correct amount of money for that. I don't want to fight him for peanuts. If the right money was shown on the table, I'd fight him. To be honest, I've even said this to my manager. I feel like we're going to be put in a position where either we make the move to light middle, or you end up having just to take one of these fights for not as much money as what you want, but you just got to do it and
take the risk.
So you've got to take a risk. Sometimes in life you have to take risks. Shiny is more like, we want so and so amount of money. He wants what's best for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially for certain fighters in the weight. Yeah, Pat being one of them. I'll be honest. But I'm a fighter, man. I need the opportunity, so I would fight anyone. Yeah, but I would like to get paid a fair amount of money to fight someone like him. He's an Olympic silver medalist. He's a very good fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll cross that bridge and we get there.
I think it's good and well somebody like me. Obviously, like I've said, I've seen you box. I know what you're capable of, and I fully think you're capable of beating Pat.
Yeah.
But I think it's all good and well me saying, just take the risk, fight him, even if it is for less money. But someone like, I think it's good to have someone like Shiny there.
Yeah, of course.
Who brings you back a little bit to say, listen, it's got to make sense
Yeah,
as well. But
course.
yeah, it's a tough one.
It is
right?
hard because obviously
when do you take the risk?
I've took these fights, like I said, with the Darren Tetley on the ticket deals, and I had to pay out my money. I've lost money.
Yeah.
I've my whole career is like this, especially this year, and the back end of last year, the fights falling through. I'm here all the time. I'm spending money. Like I want to get something back from the sport. I don't want to just fight for peanuts. And then they were all prize fighters. You know what I mean? Like,
one thing I was just gonna mention, and again, it's just come to my mind now. You might know him. I had him on my podcast as well. Gully Power.
Yeah,
He
Gully.
fought-
Yeah.
He fought in the Boxing World Cup.
Yeah. We watched him. He boxed on the same day I did.
Oh, did he?
He was in the quarterfinal. I think it was the quarterfinals. We watched it. Yeah, before my fight.
Okay.
No, before Aaron's fight. Sorry.
Before
Boxed,
Aaron's.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, it was. I think it was on the same day,
Yeah,
wasn't
same
it?
day.
But yeah. What if an opportunity there opened up? I don't know if they're doing something similar in your weight category.
Yeah.
or-
So I actually think the opportunity. I think it come up for that Grand Prix thing, but it was they capped it at the two ages before me and a certain amount of fights that I couldn't have, so
really?
I just missed out.
Jesus, man.
But yeah, like I said to Errol, they done another thing in Tokyo. They
Yeah.
done a thing in Japan, like Kieran Conway fought
Yeah.
on it, Mark Dickinson, a couple others. I'd say to Errol, if they do anything like that and it's welterweight, chuck me in, put my name in. You know what I mean? Because they was getting paid good money and it was a great opportunity. So put me anything like that, put me in. Like same as with like when they when they said your name's been put forward for Josh Kelly. Yes, it's risky jumping 2 weights, but it was on it was on Wembley, but on the Riyadh thing. I didn't officially know the money, but I knew it was going to be
Good money.
Yeah. So it's worth the risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to fight someone like Pat and you're getting 20 grand or 25 grand, to me, is not really worth the risk. You know what I mean? But if they was to offer some serious, like decent money, like
that's the thing. You said 20, 25 grand to a casual boxing fan. They're like, what are you playing at? That's a lot of money, mate. But obviously, you fight 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
You got your camp expenses, your job. You got
do
other
you know what I mean?
expenses
So
as
you've got all
well.
expenses,
So
you've got to pay everything out and tax. You get taxed. So at the end of it, that 25 grand's nothing. And for like a tough fight like that,
I feel like boxers should not get taxed.
No,
It's fucking ridiculous.
it's hard, isn't it?
mate.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think anyone we
to
get,
give your life and soul in
we
that
get
ring.
taxed. Not boxers, but just the people of UK.
Yeah.
Our tax thing's a joke.
It is, mate. It is.
terrible.
Do you get taxed like standard as everyone else does? With
Yeah,
your
yeah.
boxing
So
fees?
I'm pretty sure if you're a limited company, you get your 20% tax, whatever. But if you're just normal, like I'm at the minute, I'm not a limited company. I've got one, but because of sponsors dropping out and things like it doesn't make sense to put my stuff in there yet.
Do you know what? I get it. Like it's professional boxing, it's a job, but I feel like there needs to be some common sense and exceptions made. Like people are putting their lives on and health on the line in that ring.
If you earn like a fortune, you lose half of it to the tax man.
That's ridiculous.
Basically, you know what I mean? And like we probably lose, even if you fight 20 grand, three 20 grand fights a year, 20, 40, 60 grand, plus your sponsorship. So say you're coming on 80 grand, well then you're probably in the 40% tax bracket, isn't you? I don't know, but so you're gonna lose 40% of your money. Like it's mad. So yeah, I feel like the risk, them sort of fights there, I feel like if they pay me a good amount of money, then I'll fight them. Yeah, but carry on.
One other name I'll say, and it's one that I definitely think you would beat, at least give a very, very difficult fight. Harlem Eubank.
Yeah, man, that's a good fight for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think stylistically
Yeah,
it suits you.
it's a good fight. That is. To be fair, I sparred him before.
Oh, have you sparred before?
Yeah, I sparred him when he was the weight below. This is a
Okay.
few years ago now when I was at my old gym. We sparred him before. We had some good rounds. Twice we sparred. It's awkward because, you know, like, even now, like, you sort of know him, you know what I mean?
It's a strange
like,
one.
when you're just like, oh, yeah, I want to fight him or call him out. Or, like, I know Mikey, like, Lucas's brother, Mikey, he fought for a world title, but I'd love that fight. But I don't want to sound like a dick because I know him. I don't want to be like, I don't want to think like, oh, why's he, you know what I mean? But
it's just
business, ain't it? You know what I
think
mean?
people know it's just you trying to progress in the sport.
Yeah,
of boxing.
do you know what I mean?
There's
I just
nothing
need that big
personal
name.
there.
Yeah, it's not personal.
It's just you wanting to.
And I feel
progress.
like Harlem Box Cattrall, they stunk the place out. You know what I mean? It wasn't a very good fight. He's now having a comeback fight. He's going to win that one. Most probably going to win that one.
Who's he fighting in his comeback?
I'm not sure. Something Wagner. I don't know. I just see it on the poster. But I feel like he needs, if he wants to get back to like top again.
Yeah.
I feel like he needs like to fight someone like me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Saying.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to fight someone like me. But again, this is another thing with boxing and business is he's a massive name.
Yeah.
Massive name.
He is.
So is he going to want to fight Elliot Whale, or
Yeah.
can he hang out and maybe fight Echo Esserman?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The winner of Catch Westman.
Do you ever consider just doing? I know it's not in your nature, but do you ever consider just like you've seen other guys at press conferences doing ludicrous stuff like throwing tables?
Does
it ever come into your mind just to start doing some crazy shit to get your name out?
I don't know if I've got it in me, mate. I don't know if I'm so.
Not telling you to do that. I think that takes what's the word? A special type of person to take it to that level,
to
right?
be like that. I'm very I'm quiet. You know what I mean? I'm quiet. I'm chilled out.
I think the wicked thing is you talk so well in front of a camera.
Really, yeah,
so
yeah.
I think you're brilliant. Obviously, I've had a lot of guests on here. You're definitely one of the best guests I've had in terms of how you present yourself.
You know what I mean, because when I first time I was nervous, man, in front of cameras. I feel like when I first turned pro, nothing had really gone wrong in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like my career or nothing.
Yeah.
So now that I've been through it a bit, you know what I mean? I've got more to talk about, and it's real, it's from my heart, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It means a lot to me. So when I speak, it makes more, like, maybe that's why I'm coming across better, you know what I mean? Because I've got more experiences to talk about and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's important. Like all these struggles that you're going through, like how boring would it have been if we sat here and you hadn't have gone through any of these things, right? And you wouldn't have had a story to tell.
Nah.
Like, this could potentially be a real main character story.
Yeah, this is what I'm
all
hoping.
the shit that you've had to overcome, and then once you
bang,
reach
you
the
get there.
top, you can talk about.
Hopefully,
everything
you never
that
know. In
had
a
to
couple of
overcome,
years'
right?
time, I have to come back, and I've
Yeah,
got a
I'll
few
definitely be getting
big
you
boy
back on,
titles
mate.
around my waist. You know what I mean?
100%, mate.
And it all paid off.
Definitely. But no, we've come to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been great to have you on. Before we do finish, we spoke about sponsorship, right?
Yes.
Before we came in here, and how crucial that is, especially at this stage of your career, while you're just trying to make that breakthrough, which will probably take just one big fight, right? And
definitely.
then you'll have that breakthrough. But to help you ticking over, you need those sponsorship deals,
100%.
right? And obviously, you're signed with a big promoter in Ben Shalom and Boxer, who will be live on BBC.
Yeah.
So for any potential sponsors who do want to jump on this journey with Elliot, now is probably going to be the most important time in his career to get involved. And the best time to be involved as well on his journey, right? And go on that journey with him. So if anybody is interested, reach out to Elliot. He's on Instagram.
He's on Elliot Whale on Instagram. Just give me a message, you know what I mean? It helps so much. Like, I've got solid sponsors that have been with me. Like I've got a fella called RMS Company and Target Lifts. These have been with me when, especially RMS, to be fair, they've been with me when I was going through the first bit, you know what I mean? When I weren't even boxing, and he's still paying me and helping me. Like, then I've got Target Lifts after my first fight back from the break, and I was with Shiny. I've got him. Obviously, on the way, I've had some more sponsors come. Some have dropped off, some haven't. But these people are special people. The people that sponsor athletes, like, I don't know, it's fair play, you know what I mean? Because really and truly, like, right now, they don't really get too much out of it, if I'm honest. They get their logos everywhere and things like that, but probably don't get any business out of it, you know what I mean? They might get the odd thing, but not loads. So I think they see they're investing in me.
With a dream,
yeah, do you know what I mean? They're investing in me, and they're not really bothered about what they get out of it. They just want to see me achieve my goals, and I'm so grateful for every one of my sponsors that I've got now and that I've had in the past that I haven't got anymore. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for all of them, because without them, I literally would not be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do this. So, yeah, any other companies out there that want to sponsor me, hit me up, man.
No, that's amazing. And just to say, for those current sponsors who you do have at the moment, I think they're doing the right thing 100%, because like I said, as soon as you have that breakthrough fight,
we're going to get there, and all the money and time they've invested in me, it will pay off, you know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
But it's coming, so
But yeah, stay tuned, guys. He's going to be back out again before the end of the year. He'll definitely be making some noise in the ring, and he is just looking for that one breakthrough fight, which I'm sure is coming.
Yep.
So Elliot, thank you for coming on
Thanks
the
for having
podcast,
me, mate.
Really
Appreciate
appreciate it. And thank you for watching, guys. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.